Before I do this next song, it's a song that the first song I ever sang to Renee over here. We had been going out for a couple years and she wanted to meet her dad, so we went out to western Nebraska to Broadwater, Nebraska. Anybody know where that is? A lot of cows out there. Her dad owns a very large feed yard out there. Anyway, we pulled up to it. I was nervous about meeting her dad anyway. We pulled up to it, got out of the car, and man, it stunk like crazy. And I met him and I said, "Man, what's that smell?" He says, "Sir, that's the smell of money." Yeah, I said, "Well, maybe you ought to think about washing it sometime because it kind of smelled like cow poop to me." But Don, you can pull up that Kansas back there. Okay, thanks. Carry on my... Wait a minute, Don, that's not me. That's a different Kansas.
Okay,
that's another Kansas. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, seriously, this is a song that I wrote in 1993. This is before digital, so I haven't got my band together to put this into digital yet. All I'm going to be able to do is sing over this, but I hope you get the message that I hope all fathers have for their children. And there's no joke here, I promise. I love my kids to death. They were all little when I wrote this song in '93. Now they're getting older. There's 3 of them in their 30s, one of them 28. Andy is a cop, which is what he wanted to be in the song. And I'm going to have to sing over my own voice, so bear with that, but I just wanted you to hear this song. Go ahead. By the other Kansas. It's a pretty quiet song, you know. You gotta listen really close. And
you know all that time I took to import that thing?
Wait a minute, before we do that, yeah, I know what's going on. Before we do that, I do some impersonations. That was my impersonation of Kansas, which wasn't very good. Would you all like to see my impersonation? I haven't even been drinking the damn wine over there. Like to see my impersonation of Michael Jackson. I want to hear it. Anybody want to hear my...
Oh, hey, can I interrupt you real quick first?
Not really, but go ahead.
Okay, well, you know what Michael Jackson and the Chicago Cubs have in common, dude?
Where's those Cubs fans? I want to...
Any Cubs fans out there, baseball?
Yep, there is.
Oh, there is. You know what Michael Jackson and Cubs have in common? They both wear a glove on one hand, but apparently for no reason. So.
Yeah, I'm a St. Louis Cardinal fan. So anyway, you do want to see my impersonation of Michael Jackson, right? Okay, you thought I only did country. Okay, here it is. Hold on just a second.
All right, give it up for Kansas Walker. And Michael Jackson.
That's as close as I'll ever get to that one. Okay. Anyway, this is a song I wrote back in 1993. And it says that. Rick, Tim, Charlie, and Andy. I dropped them off last Sunday at their mama's home. It's getting harder to leave them as I pull away alone. I think of how much they mean to me as they stand and wave goodbye. And as I pull out of her driveway, those teardrops fill my eyes. 'Cause they're everything that Daddy would pray his boys could be, except that they're not living here, not living with me. Now Andy wants to be a policeman when he's grown, and Charlie wants to save folks from their burning homes. Ricky wants to be successful, and I know that he'll go far. And Timmy's dream has always been to be a football star. Although the dreams they have may change when they leave home. The one thing that I'll pray for is they'll never be alone. Lord, those 4 boys of mine, they're everything to me. And this daddy, he'll be proud of them and whatever they choose to be. Lord, they're everything that daddy would pray his boys could be. Except that they're not living here, not living with me. Now Andy wants to be a policeman when he's grown, and Charlie wants to save folks from their burning homes. Ricky wants to be successful, and I know that he'll go far. And Timmy's dream has always been to be a football star. Yes, they're everything that daddy would pray his boys could be. Except that they're not living here, not living with me. Now Andy wants to be a policeman when he's grown. Charlie wants to save folks from their burning homes. Ricky wants to be successful, and I know that he'll go far. And Timmy's dream has always been to be a football star. Yes, they're everything that daddy would pray his boys could be. Except that they're not living here, not living with me. Boys, there's one thing they never change. That's the love I have for you. Thank you. You know, I don't understand women, pardon me women, but you know, I had a dog, and this dog was the cutest little dog you ever seen in your life. And I brought him home, and my wife thought he was really cute, all that stuff. And then it pooped on the carpet. And then it peed on the carpet, and it barked all night. So I had to get rid of the dog. So I'm in a bar after that. This beautiful 25-year-old girl with long blonde hair and blue eyes. I said, you want to come home with me? So I grabbed her and I took her in the house, and I said, who's that? I said, she's going to stay here. I said, why is that? I said, well, you told me to get rid of the dog and everything. I did. And I said, I got this. And she promised she won't poop on the carpet, pee on the carpet. She won't bark all night. And if you're really nice to her, she'll probably help you with the dishes. I don't know why I'm divorced, but anyway. Next song is the #1 song ever recorded as far as sales go. And he just passed away, George Jones.
April 26th. The same day as my wife's dad.
Is that right?
Exactly.
I didn't realize that was the day after my birthday.
Yep, day after your birthday too. Sure
At least
was.
he made it till my birthday.
Yep. Did you get to pet that girl?
I learned what it was like to live in a doghouse. Yeah, he wasn't very happy with me. 2 houses later. Oh, right. Okay, I gotta set up this next song. This is about my dad and I. Purpose of the album that I started recording last September and finished in December. Got it replaced. Got it released in February. My dad passed away in April 2005, and he was my best friend. He was funny sometimes. I remember one time he called me, and he said, Kansas. He said, I think they called me Rick, but that's my real name, Rick. He won't call me Kansas. Neither will my mom. But anyway, he says, I think I'm getting Alzheimer's. I said, why is that, Dad? He said, well, for example, I just walked into this room here and I sat down, and he's like, I can't remember what I came in here for. I said, Dad, that happens to everybody. That means you're getting Alzheimer's. That's the best thing to do, just walk outside the room and go back where you were, and that's probably, and he says, never mind, I just figured it out. I said, what was it that reminded you of it, Dad? So, you know, I said, I came in here and sat down, I see that roll of toilet paper sitting next to me. And he says, no, I figured it out. I did get a law repealed in Kansas, didn't I, Don? We had a hypnotist show.
I can't remember, I was hypnotized at the time.
We had a hypnotist come into Kansas. Yeah, I owned a steakhouse down there, and they found out that it was illegal to have a hypnotist in Kansas, and couldn't believe it, you know. And they said I couldn't have the show, and it was sold out. It was like 280 people. So I said, well, I asked the cops, which were friends of mine. They weren't being jerks or nothing, but I said, what's the fine? They said, $50. I said, okay, you know.
And they did come and videotape the whole thing.
They did.
Too.
So did the news cameras and the satellites and everything else. Anyway, I went to Topeka. That's when I lived in Kansas. I went to Topeka and helped get those law repealed. But it wasn't repealed before my next show, and I wasn't canceling that show. One of the cops that had to film that thing was a really good friend of mine that I played ball with. He said, I don't want to arrest you or anything else. I said, I found a loophole. Don't worry about it. He goes, okay. He says, I got to be there to film this thing for evidence. I said, all right. So I got up. What I did was I got an orange jumpsuit, and this was big news in Kansas. It was big news everywhere. And so I went and we had a big prison out there. I borrowed some orange jumpsuit like I was a prisoner, and I walked up on stage with that. And I said, you know, I don't know if y'all know about this hypnosis problem we're having here lately, but, and I said, but let me read you the ordinance. And I read in the ordinance. I said, for entertainment purposes and blah, 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 you can't have a hypnotist. And I'm like, folks, I don't want to get arrested tonight. I said, we're going to read that law back one more time. I said, given for entertainment purposes. And then I read the rest of it, and it was all a bunch of legal garbage. I said, go back to the first line. Given for entertainment purposes. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's seminar is for educational purposes only, not intended to entertain your butt. If you laugh, it's your own fault. And here's Doug McCraw. And that's how we got away with it. But there's also a law in Vaughn, New Mexico. You talk about stupid laws. I'm going through there one night about 35 miles an hour. That's when I drove over the road. I look at my mirror and there's a cop back there. I was like, gee, what was I doing? The cop says, comes up to the truck and he says, sir, do you know what I pulled you over for? I said, no, I really don't. I said, I was being a pretty good guy. He goes, you ran over a cat back there, sir. I said, sorry. He goes, oh no, we have a law about running over cats. I said, you gotta be kidding me. He says, no, he says, you gotta notify the owner of it immediately. I said, sir, I said I drive all 48 states and Alaska and even part of Canada and Mexico. I said, I really don't know who owns every cat in America. I'm sorry. He goes, they're also supposed to have a tag on that cat. I said, okay. So we got to walk about a block back at 3 o'clock in the morning to dig this thing out of this cat. And he says, oh, I know this lady. I said, yeah, imagine that. Just a little 2-horse town, you know. 1 horse town, whatever they say it is. Anyway. He says, I said, well, I'll take down that number and I'll call the lady in the morning. And I said, right now I'm headed to El Paso. And I said, I'll give her a call. He said, no, sir. He says, this thing has to be dealt with immediately. I said, sir, I really don't think this lady's going to be real happy with me for running over her cat. And she's really going to be pissed off at me for telling her about it at 3 o'clock in the morning because it's not wait. He said, no, we got to tell her now. So we go up to the door. Knock on the door. This lady comes to the door. She's about 80 years old. She's got curlers about this big in her hair. I'm feeling really bad thinking I ran over this lady's cat. I thought the cop was just going to tell this lady that I ran over the cat and I'd just be the bad guy in the background. I'm sorry. She answers the door. He goes, ma'am, this gentleman has something to tell you. Thanks, buddy. I said, ma'am, I was coming through your lovely little town of 8 people. And I was informed that I ran over something, and I said, by all indications, it was your cat. And man, she just went nuts on me. I said, I didn't mean to and everything. I said, I didn't even know I had done it. And she says, how do you know it's mine? I said, well, had a tag on it, ma'am. I said, I feel really bad about this. It was, what did it look like? And I went, yeah. I said, it's about what it looked like, ma'am. I said, you recognize that? She said, what color was it? You smart aleck? I said, oh, it was white and had a lot of red in it and had some black streaks right over the top of it. Yeah. I think it was yours though, ma'am. I said, I had a tag, your name and number. And she wanted to sue me. I said, ma'am, I did not chase your cat down a sidewalk with an 18-wheeler and try to run it over. I said, know what? What I can do is try to give you a little money to help bury the cat. I don't want no money to bury the cat. You know, I'm really PO to you right now for running over my cat. I said, ma'am, I didn't swerve. You know, I'm trying not to swerve to miss anything, but I didn't even see your cat. I honestly didn't. I said, now what if I was going through town and I swerved to miss the cat and you were over there beside me and I flopped my truck over on top of you and killed you? At least my cat would be alive now, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess it would, ma'am, but you wouldn't be around to feed it, you know what I mean? So anyway, I gave her 20 bucks. I said, I'll be back through here tomorrow about noon. You just go out and buy yourself a box and some flowers. I said, you're only a couple blocks off the highway. I'll park my big rig out there and I'll come over and help you bury that cat tomorrow. You don't have to do that. You know that. Here's the problem. My husband just died 3 months ago. I said, ma'am, there was no ordinance then. I just ran through town and kept going. Okay. Oh, and then I hit a deer one time. Oh my goodness. Anybody here ever hit a deer? I know anybody from Louisville's got a hit. No? Yeah, nobody? Yeah. Shauna's hit a deer, yeah. It hit you, yeah, right. Yeah. I ran over one time, but I've never actually hit one. Oh, that's pretty good. Anyway, what I don't get is, you know, we get a 20-foot crosswalk for humans, and deer get like 10 miles. They always go outside of their boundaries, just like we do. So I'm over there between Louisville and Plattsmouth. If you ever go through there, a lot of deer over there. Anyway, I did have a new car, and deer ran out in front of it, and I smoked its butt. And the deer, it ruined my car. Ticked me off so bad. I'm still PO'd about it. And it made me so mad. I just wanted to kick that little deer's butt. I have some anger issues.